Huh. The plot here seems a little different from what the reviews said.
The protagonist wanted to return to the stage, so the puppets replaced all her parts with the latest ones available, built her a grand opera house, and summoned a huge audience.
And in the end, she forgot herself amidst the applause and cheers of her fellow puppets.
Hey, no spoilers! Huh? Wait, hang on, that's not even what's happening. The set has changed back to the one from the first act.
Oh, Archons, please let this work out.
No need to be so nervous, Director Mariu. We only told you Lynette would be quitting the show to get you to make a decision. We wanted you to believe that this show would have to end after today, no matter what you decided. But in truth, I believe that if we choose our words carefully, there's no—
You really thought this plan through. But I'm not upset about what you've done. What's worrying me now isn't how Maloney will react or whether the show will get cancelled. It's the audience. I've always thought the original script is better, but will it move them like I've always hoped? When Jillian does her curtain call, will they applaud her? What if people only came to see the show for Lynette? And because of the reviews, what if they don't really care about the show at all? It feels like I've been hiding inside my safe little castle for too long. And now I'm scared to go outside the walls and hear what people really think.
We're right here with you. We'll watch it to the end.
Wow. Okay, this ending is much better.
I love how they brought back the set from Act 1 and gave it a whole new meaning. What a fantastic twist.
Time for the curtain call. It's the moment of truth. The applause continue after I take off the mask. I could always leave my mask on. No one would ever know. This is what fame looks like, when it's truly deserved.
Jillian, you were amazing! Syra was tearing up when you did your final solo dance.
Well, so are you.
Really? I was so nervous. My legs felt like they turned to jelly. What looked like an actor unsteady on her feet was in fact a poignant expression of the protagonist's frailty in her last moments. Or...
Hey, Mario! What the heck was that? Why wasn't Lynette playing the lead?
Our articles are already going to press. You better have a good explanation for this.
It was my...
Hey now, it was all of our...
Hold on. The decision was mine, and mine alone. They had nothing to do with it. If you have any concerns, gentlemen, then please direct them to me.
Marry you? So it was you? Well then, I trust you'll have no objection to me pulling the plug on this production.
Director Mariu, Mr. Maloney, what on earth is going on? Why was Lynette not in the lead role? It took a lot of convincing from me for her to accept the role, and I had to turn down some big work opportunities to come and watch her performance today. You have some explaining to do.
Lenny, it was all his idea. Marry you, explain yourself.
Wait. Blinny, as a matter of fact, this was a piece of performance art. In this play, the masks and costumes serve to obscure the differences between characters, and by extension, the difference between human and machine. We took that idea to the next level with an actor swap, blurring the lines between one performer and the next. So it's in service of the ambitious artistic goals of the production.
What?
It's similar to deceiving the audience in a magic show. We employed this technique as a means of breaking the fourth wall. It allows the audience to more intuitively understand the cognitive dissonance felt by the protagonist as a machine trying to reconcile the notion of her humanity. The audience's experience mirrors the protagonist's own confusion and becomes part of the artistic performance itself.
Hold up. What is this nonsense?
Oh, I see. Well, bravo, Director Mariu. You even had me fooled.
That's probably more because you just don't really understand avant-garde art very well, Lenny.
Maybe so, maybe so. Well, perhaps it went over my head, but I'm sure our experts here saw the whole thing coming a mile away.
You must have worked it out by the end of the first half, surely. Mr. Amory, I just heard that you managed to write your review after just the first 2 acts.
Yes, you're right. Director Mariyu and I are old friends. You should have said something. Then I could have played along even better.
Yes, well, to deceive the audience, you must first deceive your closest companions. I have to give credit to Lynette and her experience in performing magic. That's what inspired me to take my art to the next level.
You mean your show was partly inspired by Lynette's background in magic? Well, in that case, I'll have to plug it to everyone I know.
Unfortunately, I think Mr. Maloney is going to cancel the show.
Cancel the show? Mr. Maloney, is this true?
While I accept that deceiving the audience in the manner you did certainly has artistic merit, this is not a magic show, and we don't want our audience demanding their money back.
A very valid criticism, and one that I humbly accept. If that happens, we're prepared to reimburse and apologize to any audience members who... Plus, it looks like Jillian is better than me at delivering the excellence people want to see. I'm sure audiences will be very happy with the show if she's allowed to stay in the leading role.
Maloney, I believe there should still be time to tweak my article. From the look on Lynette's face, I think she's being sincere.
Oh, one other thing. We managed to get a meeting with Lady Farina earlier. All thanks to the Traveler's reputation, of course. Anyway, she agreed to write a review focusing on Jillian's performance and the quality of the show as a whole. She promised to give her honest opinion. And I'm sure today's audience will be discussing her performance too. There's sure to be a variety of opinions.
Oh, I mean, art at its finest, clearly. But I'll have to give it some thought before I decide exactly what to write.
Oh, of course. Always good to put some thought into these things. Especially now, with a growing range of voices out there. I imagine competition for readers becomes more fierce when everyone's discussing the topic.
Corentin, Amory, let's go.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved. But somewhere along the way, I started to lose sight of what that was. Just like those critics with their dishonest reviews, I became all about the trappings of success, at the expense of the art itself. You're right. Yes, I'm a very lucky man. Anyway, enough about my problems. What are we going to do about the threat letter that Lynette received? I've been looking into it a lot over the past couple of days, but it doesn't seem like it was one of our competitors after all.
Ah, yes, about that.
Lynette, do you have a moment?
Wait, you're Jillian's sister, right?
I'm sorry. Gina insisted on coming to see Lynette. I couldn't stop her. Lynette, I'm sorry!
Yeah, me neither.
Wait, but...
Oh, do you mean when we ran into you at the Full of Sandra? And you said some mean things to me? As I recall, you were only trying to look out for your sister. It was just a few words spoken in anger. Don't worry. Whatever it was you said, I've already forgotten.
Oh. I see. Well, it sounds like Gina knows what she did was wrong. Owning up to your mistakes and committing to do better in the future is what counts.
I understand that feeling of wanting to stand up for your family when they're being mistreated. Really, I do. But next time, maybe consider a different tactic? Something you can pull off more effectively, and without arousing suspicion.
Got it. Thank you, Lynette. Why do I feel like I'm missing something here?
Hey, here you are. I was wondering where you'd all run off to.
Great! Everyone's in one place. That makes this so much easier.
What do you think? It's group photo time! We have to commemorate the debut of the Lost Puppet Director's Edition. Okay, everyone, we all have pretty awkward smiles on our faces in the photo from Hotel de Boer, so this time, no forced smiles allowed.
Oh, am I really not allowed to force a smile? I'll try, I suppose. I think I can manage.
Lynette, Traveler, come on! You two should be right in the middle.
3, 2, 1, smile!
Thank you both so much.
That letter? I was the one who wrote it.
What?
Gina? So it was you?
Director, it's time for Oh, okay. Weird energy here.
I think we came at a bad time.
Lynette, Gina must have been worried sick about me. I'm sure even she wouldn't do something so stupid if she was in her right mind. I'm so sorry. I promise I'll make it up to you somehow.
Jillian, no! This is completely my fault, and I'm the one who should have to bear the consequences. I got the wrong end of the stick and completely misjudged Lynette.
Well, since I haven't actually suffered any losses, seeking redress could be difficult. Maybe we could just let this one slide?
Really? Are you sure?
After all, Gina wouldn't be the first person to ever misjudge me, right?
True. True.
In any case, I think we can all agree it was a misunderstanding and nothing more. No need to overcomplicate things.
But still, I was wrong to write that letter. I should own up to my actions, make it up to you in some way.
If that's what you really want, then how about helping out backstage?
Huh? Backstage?
The crew could always use an extra hand. Plus, it'll give your older sister a chance to keep an eye on you and stop you getting into any more trouble.
Thank you, Lynette. Really, thank you so much.
Is it? I'm so much more at home here in the audience. I get to sit on a comfy seat, and I don't have to act. Mary said she's a very promising young actress, and she has natural chemistry with her older sister. In their capable hands, the show doesn't need me to attract an audience anymore. Phew. Freedom at last. Fame is more trouble than it's worth. I'd rather leave that side of things to my brother and the others. I'm happiest when I get to sit in a quiet place, watch them do their thing, and cheer them on. Yep, exactly like I'm doing now.
The world remains constant over the centuries. Human. Life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? Maybe if I just... Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. I'll have to let Fremine know. Let's see. 4. Well... back to the drinks reception. Nope, I said it was your decision. I'm not gonna waste any more energy dragging my feet.
There you are, Lynette! Where did you disappear to? Leone and I have been looking everywhere for you. Wait, where did you get the cat?
I found her outside. Do either of you happen to recognize her?
I don't think so. Could belong to one of the guests, I suppose.
Fair enough. It was a long shot.
So sorry we couldn't help you, Lynette.
Don't worry. We'll ask around for you. Leone's probably just being forgetful.
Maybe you could leave her with us. We'll take her to the reception desk and...
Lynette, how do you find acting compares with performing in a magic show?
What does the future hold for you, Lynette? Yeah, it's just... It's a power-saving mode for participating in conversation at tea parties. Normally, I can get through an entire conversation just with, Oh, that's true. And how interesting. But at a tea party, I'm not normally subjected to a constant stream of questions. The energy consumption of that interview just now was 3 times as much as the average tea party. I think I'd rather... Hotel de Bour's Île Flottante is as wonderfully sweet as ever.
Traveler? Lynette?
Just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
Just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
The photo must be in this envelope right here.
I can't believe how well the whole Lynette's debut acting role thing worked out. Even the avant-garde box office is lapping it up.
I'm actually more concerned about Mariyu. When I mentioned Jill, especially since Maloney mentioned that the initial plan was to cast Jillian as the lead. Sounds like there was an original protagonist as well as an original script. I should probably go talk to her. Yep, she told me she lives in the Flow of Sandra.
Art is the key ingredient in fine dining. Ugh, I'm so annoyed. Art is the key ingredient in fine dining. Forget about me. Exactly. This is about what you want.
Inactivity serves no purpose
Art
whatsoever.
is the key ingredient in fine dining.
What did you want exactly?
Forget about me. This is about what
Art is the key ingredient in fine dining.
What did you want exactly?
Forget about me. This is about
Lynette? What are you doing? You're not...
Sorry to keep you waiting.
Jillian brought me up to speed on the situation. I'm here to help however I can. Here, this is the script you're after. That's always the way with pen and paper.
The protagonist returns to the ruins where she began and performs a dance in honor of... consent. And that way, he'll be forced. Sorry for manhandling you. You looked like you were seconds away. It was Gina.
I imagine this, or is all this standing making me dizzy?
Oh, you're here! Lynette and Jillian are busy getting ready, so please come.
Are you guys sure this is gonna work? What if Director Mariyu pushes back?
We're already halfway there. We can't back out now. All we need to do is stick to the plan.
What is this plan that you're so intent on hiding from me,
Director Mariyu! I thought you were talking to Maloney and the critics.
Korantan and Armory have both finished their articles. I went to greet them as a mere formality, but you seem to have availed yourselves of my absence during the first half to defy me. What have you done? Was that really Lynette playing the lead role?
Ta-da!
Huh. The plot here seems a little...
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Thank you both so much. Without the two of you, who knows how much further down that cynical path I would have gone. I always told myself that once I'd made enough Mora, I'd get back to doing what I loved.
That letter?
Is it? Mariyu said she's a very promising young actress.
We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability. We cannot just rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Rely on the ocean's self-cleaning ability.
Huh. I didn't like that. Was I using it wrong? So, we're looking for Bonnie's owner? I I think I'll go to the Steambird and see about putting an ad in the paper. You want to come along? I think Bonnie wants you to come with.
Every stupendous day starts with a Steambird. Oh, hi Lynette. Hi Traveler. What can I help you with? I don't think so. Have you picked up a stray?
Yep. If there's no commission to follow up on, could we post a notice about the missing cat instead?
Why, of course. What a kind thing to do. Just fill out the form.
Well, we've registered you as missing. You can stay at my place until your owner finds you. Also, I just wanted to say thanks for keeping us company for so long. Well, I should probably head back to the drinks reception. Hopefully most of the people have left by now. If you've got some time, you should stop by my place tomorrow to see Bonnie. There's a nice cup of tea. Alright, see you then.
Ammonia's idea of crisis awareness defies words.
Should be fine. I'm sure it'll get resolved. I've never seen anything like it.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
I believe this cat belongs to me.
I already told you, this isn't your cat.
Just take a breather, you two. Oh, you're here. As you can probably see, you'll have to take a rain check on that tea I promised you.
This is my friend's cat. He's preoccupied with some important...
No, it's far more likely this cat escaped from the Humane Society. Bonnie?
That's the name I've given her in the meantime. Well, this complicates things.
I told you before. This is my...
Listen, I'm the director. She just looked somewhat familiar, so if she turns out to be one of ours, I'll take her back. We're an organization that specializes in rescuing and sheltering stray animals. We've been in business for several decades now. I'm Bernard, the current director.
The Humane Society. Huh. The name sounds familiar. I remember hearing good things. You're the one in the Quartier Lyonnais?
Yes, that's the one. Anyway, if it's not too much trouble, could I possibly take a closer look at the cat? If it turns out I really am mistaken, I suppose that means the cat belongs to this lady here. She would be the only remaining option after all.
It belongs to my friend.
Go on, Bonnie.
Oh, nope. Looks like I was mistaken. They do look similar, but there's an ever so slight difference in this one's fur color. Deepest apologies, friends. Well, I suppose this means I still have a missing cat to search for. Apologies again for the confusion.
Oh, yes, exactly.
Wait a second. You lied earlier, didn't you?
Lied? I'm afraid I don't know what you mean.
A liar always has a tell. The look in their eyes, their breathing pattern, the way they hold themselves. The things that can give you away are often more numerous than you would think.
What are you talking about? The way I see it, you're conflating baseless conjecture with fact.
Normally, when someone is called out, their breathing speeds up as they begin to panic. But your breathing pattern hasn't changed one bit. In fact, it's been strangely calm and measured this entire time. It stands to reason, then, that your agitated behavior earlier was all an act. If you're a bad guy, I'm sure you'll take off running the first chance you get. If you're a good guy, the most likely explanation is that you're a member of the Guards, or some similar organization.
And you're basing this off of?
Intuition. Nothing more.
Intuition. Well, I have to hand it to you, Lynette. You're right. I'm a member of the Guards. The name's Elodie. I'm currently investigating a cross-border smuggling case. This cat here... Bonnie, what's her name? Well, her owner is one of the prime suspects of our investigation. A couple of days ago, our suspect got wind that we were on his tail and fled. That's most likely how he got separated from the cat. I just so happened to stumble upon your notice in the Steambird, so I decided to see if he'd come back for her. But it looks like I overestimated him. The impact of this case has been huge. The Marechaussee Phantom, the Guards, and the Special Patrol have all launched investigations. If there was even the slightest chance that a new kind of illegal drug, imitation synth, we confiscate, and criminals, after the original synth debacle, we put several measures into place to prevent similar we only recently got word of the presence of imitation synth overseas. We managed to track down evidence of some early transactions. What we were able to find out, however, hasn't proven that useful given the amount of time that has passed. The Marechaussee Phantom launched an investigation to track down every person in Fontaine capable of producing a drug like that. That's how we learned about Bonnie's owner. He's a researcher at the Fontaine Research Institute. His name is Pierre. Pierre Lafayette, to be exact.
Lafayette.
The Marechaussee Phantom found him in Poisson. In addition to the cat, he also had a pendant with him. At first, it was only later. Obviously, this discovery
That's not possible.
Exactly. The family is engaged in all Pierre is one of those very survivors. He's been hiding away in the Fontaine Research Institute all these years. Well, there could be a chance. If I take Bonnie back, I have to admit, well...
It's just... It was at a... But before anything worse could... Yep. After all these years. Don't worry. He's been thinking about it now. It's very... Even after all the... You'll have to help me teach him a lesson if we... Yep. I want a little bit of both, perhaps. Okay.
Ad Astra. Thank you for completing today's commissions. Here is your reward. Ad Astra Abyssos. Ad Astra.
Exactly, but none of them believed me.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
I'll think about it.
Error. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
I'll think about it.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
There'll be an extra fee for that.
Error.
I'll think about it. There'll be an extra fee for that.
Exactly! But none of them believed me!
There'll be an extra fee for that.
The world remains constant over the centuries. But human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water.
But none of them believed
Transitory.
Just then, the rain stopped. Or should it keep raining? Just then, the rain stopped. Or should it keep raining?
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Just then, the rain stopped. Or should it keep raining?
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Just then, the rain stopped. Or should it keep raining? Just then, the rain stopped.
Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
Fine, if you can't afford it, just give me the phone.
What are my orders?
It's not about the money, it's about the principle!
If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
It's not about the money, it's about the principle!
Statue.
Fine, if you can't afford it, then just give me the photo back.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
It's not about the money, it's about the principle!
Statue.
Fine, if you can't afford it, then just give me the photo back.
It's not about the money, it's about the principle!
Do we have anyone doing maintenance on this, statue?
It's so nice to de-stress.
Fine, if you can't afford it, then just give me the photo back.
Healthy body, healthy mind. If you lie on the grass, you can feel the heartbeat of the world.
Seems like the stories here never have a happy ending.
Should we really be off work this early? There is still a lot left to do.
What is the situation?
I prefer magic personally.
'Twas on a deserted moonlit night that the hero approached the vile dragon's limpid lair. Now, this is what I call a moment of solitude. I never embark on a journey without a good book to accompany me.
Lynette, you're,
You can drop the... Care to introduce...
This is...
It's an honor to... I should clarify. We've brought on Mr. Linney as a consultant in the past. He was instrumental in helping us crack a case involving a... That's exactly... Whoever was behind it all was extremely cautious. They didn't leave a shred of evidence. This very fact, however, leads me to believe it was indeed the work of that harbinger. I took a look at the entrance and exit records of all the carriages that night. Let's just say it wasn't hard to do. Don't worry. I sought Mr. Linney's help with the smug. The way I look at it, it's a collab. Not at all. I was planning to invite you from the very beginning, Miss Lynette. It's just that my assistant here raised some objections.
Linny, that little girl who did nothing but...
I'm sorry.
Oh, and the next time you want to distract me, you should try a different approach.
Who's this? You pick up a stray while I was gone?
It's a bit complicated. I'll explain later. Anyway, her name's Bonnie.
Well, if there are no objections, then I suppose the only thing left to say is... Lynette, Traveler, welcome to the team.
It appears the Lefebvre family was very particular in their use of insignias and emblems. The family would use different emblems to mark differences in status, blood relation, and the like. In fact, the insignia that was discovered on the pendant was used to represent an illegitimate...
It's highly likely. That very status might have been what allowed him to emerge from the fall of his family relatively unscathed. It would also explain why he was able to assume a new identity as a researcher with relative ease.
We discovered something interesting, though. After talking to some of his co-workers, it appears he pretty much works at the Institute in name only. He's practically been cast out.
Apparently, Pierre was once addicted to synth. He tried to use the resources at the Institute to create a substance with a similar effect. He claimed it was just for research purposes, but the Institute revoked his access to the relevant materials regardless. He was placed on disciplinary leave, pending a thorough investigation of his actions. But it seems the Institute ran into some trouble along the way. Could have been a lack of personnel or a timing issue. In any case, they had to table their formal As for his family background, other than the pendant, based on the samples of imitations, those traces might not be. We didn't find any records indicating possible involvement in overseas transactions either.
Maybe he had a separate, dedicated area where he...
Well, his neighbors did say he was often gone for long stretches of time. You would think with him out and about so much, people would have spotted him around Poisson, but residents said they barely ever saw him in town. If his reclusive...
After he disappeared...
Poisson. You know Hotel de...
A cat?
Bonnie is...
Oh, that's right!
From what we've learned about Pierre's habits, he doesn't seem like the type to venture out without a purpose. So what you're saying, Lynette, is that Bonnie couldn't have gone missing in Poisson. If that's true, then...
Exactly. Bonnie might even know where it is.
Wait. You think the cat can lead us there? But she's not trained like one of our guard poodles. How is she supposed to understand what we want her to do?
guess she's a little meow.
Well,
cats and humans are, of course.
The important thing is that
Seems like Bonnie. Gardamex ahead.
Look out!
Now you shall perish! Illusion shattered!
Rain Cutter! Rain outlines your fate.
Boba, get them!
There is no escape!
Nice and spicy!
Inazuma shines eternal! Shine down! Let me weave you a verse.
You're toast!
Wind, hear me!
Boba, get them!
Torn to oblivion!
wow, Lynette, you found this place so easily. If I thought there was any chance you'd say yes, I'd recruit you into the Special Patrol here and now, no questions asked.
sounds familiar. I pretty much receive letters daily from people trying to poach her from me.
Let's just focus on our search. There's a lot to investigate.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Aha! Just as we thought. This is where the imitation synth was being made. Looks like he's got more than just imitation synths stashed around here. In addition to the raw materials needed to synthesize the substance itself, there's a large quantity of cleaning agents and a few drugs I haven't been able to identify. These cleaning agents are likely used to dispel traces of the substance, like its smell. The Special Patrol did some digging into imitation synth. Our records indicate that it's very difficult for ordinary people to detect traces left behind by the stuff. I'm sure that was the case for Pierre as well. It must have taken a considerable amount of time and skill to ensure all those traces get washed away. But what are these other drugs for?
the material these bags are made of, it's quite rare. It's the very same, actually. Romaritime flower fiber. But there's something special about the composition of these bags. I took a closer look, and it appears they're not only waterproof, but also corrosion and leak resistant. Even the strings look specially designed to keep the bags closed nice and tight. I came across some bags made of the same material just now, but they were much smaller and thinner. From the look of them, they seemed far less... Very similar, actually. No, but what could these big bags...
When the Marechaussee Phantom searched Pierre's house... You're right. That doesn't seem like his way of doing things. Only the lower...
Based on the various ingredients we've found, this appears to be where Pierre was cooking up his imitation synth. It looks like he used a special cleaning agent to get rid of any residual traces of the substance on his person before he left. That's how he was able to get past the guard poodles.
So then he transferred the imitation synth into small sealed bags and took it somewhere else for the drop-off.
No. I don't believe our suspect is the kind of person who'd go around carrying incriminating evidence with him. That would potentially create too many eyewitnesses. The cleaning agent and the sealed bags might get past the guard poodles, but if a member of the public or even a guard on patrol happened to see him during the drop-off, a quick search would reveal everything. That's still a very risky operation.
The barrels we found were wet around the base.
Yes. With flotation rings around the body of the barrels, they'd stay upright in the water.
You think he used floating barrels?
But then, wouldn't the barrels be carried off by the waves or the currents? How would the person doing the pickup know where to look?
Traveler.
The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory.
The wreckage of a small boat? This isn't the place. This isn't the place. Got it. Time to go up and report.
All the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging. The world remains constant over the centuries, but human life is like the dew at dawn, or a bubble rising through water. Transitory. Inactivity serves no purpose whatsoever.
As expected, we found a few pieces of rope and some anchoring stones underwater. If you attach them to a floating barrel, it would look like this. With this anchoring system, we also came across...
Let's talk this through.
It could be that he...
It seems like...
Well, if that's the case, they must not have a very close working relationship.
Let's not jump to any conclusions just yet. Assumptions can be detrimental to solving a case. It's possible they were just trying to keep a low profile. Two boats sailing to the same location at once could be too conspicuous. The most important thing is that we can now confirm Pierre wasn't acting alone. The floating barrel drop-off system is proof enough of that. Let's say for now that he was only in charge of producing the imitation synth. That would mean...
Since we've determined that the goods were transported by boat, maybe we can track down some travel logs or something.
We can certainly check the various ports for that information. It's possible, however, that Pierre's associate also used a small boat for the transport, and docked along the shore rather than at a large port. If that's the case, it's unlikely there would be any record left behind. Absolutely. Before Pierre disappeared, we made sure to investigate all sorts of outward-bound vessels. We also had port authorities keep a lookout for anything suspicious. Unfortunately, we were never able to find out how they managed to get the imitation synth across the border. You're right. Whatever vessel was used for the pickup, the person responsible for smuggling the substance out of Fontaine would have had to use a larger vessel for the actual transport. That's the only way they would be able to smuggle on a large enough scale to make a profit. They must have found a way to disguise the imitation synth to clear port inspections. Exactly. I'll run home and... I should also head back.
All right.
Oh, Lynette, traveler. And Bonnie, too. What brings you all here?
Did something happen?
Oh. I'm in charge of guarding the port.
Looks like I've got another hard day. No, not but.
By suspicious?
Yep.
So what happens to...
Oh, we keep if the goods are only slightly suspicious but could otherwise be harmless, like raw materials that could potentially be used to create contraband, we return them to the ship they were confiscated from, instead of letting them pass through the port.
Sorry for the wait. These are the travel logs for all the recent activity at the port.
Oh, you brought Gerard with you.
Actually, he followed me here himself. Huh.
Huh? Why don't you have a look?
The Humane Society. Their name is...
the director...
Bernard. Have you figured it out too, Traveler? The way the criminal disguised the goods? When Bernard asked to take a closer look at Bonnie, he was actually checking whether there was any imitation synth in her stomach.
Wait, what?
The sealed bags we found at the secret base. They were specially made to be corrosion resistant. There were gaps around the lids of the barrels, and airbags were used to keep them upright in the water. Those drug shovers found at the secret base. she most likely didn't recognize them because they're not used on human beings. It's an anesthetic used on pets. The perpetrator must have given it to the animals. Pierre must have made the animals swallow the sealed bags full of imitation synth at his secret base. Then he stuffed them into floating barrels and left the rest to Bernard.
The sealed bags combined with an animal's body odor would certainly be enough to mask the scent of imitation synth.
During our inspections, we would have never thought to inspect the bellies of those animals for anything suspicious. Even if we tried to feel around for something, I'm sure it would be difficult to detect.
Exactly. I bet Bernard even transported animals with synth in their stomach alongside ones without. That way, it would be even harder to say with certainty that something was amiss. She's... Just imagine, if Pierre had already...
So...
If you've got something as
In order to make sure the animals could that step would have required a... We've already proven how
Okay. The headquarters of the Humane Society should be somewhere around here. Bernard could show up any moment now.
Ah, you're the people from earlier. Wait, you're from the guards?
After him! We can't let him get away! Give it up, Bernard.
Mercy.
The Humane Society.
Look, I didn't.
No one asked.
Well, it said that I could, but then Pierre wrote to me saying that we were already partners in crime and that I better keep cooperating with him if I didn't want to be reported to the guards.
You knew it from the very beginning, didn't you? The reason why you had to go through so many steps just to transport some animals.
I'd suggest that you confess everything right now if you don't want to add anything else to your list of crimes.
Yes, officer. I would order wooden barrels and flotation devices according to his instructions, and then load the sleeping animals onto a boat. Once I sailed to the location he provided, I would dump everything together into the sea. And a few days after that, I'd come by again in my boat and pick up the animals sleeping in the barrels. Once I had received enough of them, I'd bring them to the harbor to be adopted abroad. That guy, Pierre, he was running the entire show. He set up all the meeting time. Look, I don't know, okay? I've never...
And when did he send his...
just last night...
It's been a few days since Pierre's last...
Sure sounds like you're...
No!
Well...
I know.
Bonnie helped.
And it looks like she's grown quite fond of you two as well. Then I'll leave you be. Just let me know if you find any other new leads.
It was that obvious, huh? Well, even though it didn't feel like Bernard was lying, after talking to him, I'm getting an even stronger sense that something's not quite right. We investigated so quickly that perhaps we've missed a thing or two along the way. Let me activate deduction mode and consider things again from the top to see if we can find anything new. Is there still anything unresolved or strange that we should try to consider? Well, we've discussed... There's no need to rush. The RSA fan... There's no need to rush. Let's see if we can find any other suspicious points about this case. Bernard claims... There's no need to rush.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt. Ow!
Is everything... I still feel like the relationship between Pierre and Bernard is not as simple as it appears. Also, I've had this strange sense that something's off the entire time we've been on the case. And it has only gotten worse. Ugh. No good. I've still got nothing. Alright, I'll stop thinking about it for now. At the very least, we've made it so that no more animals will suffer like those poor animals did. And that's what I hope. Let's go to the humane before my... We investigated so quick. Is there still any... Bernard claims to have... If Bonnie had imitations and thinking about it, could it be that the Marechaussee... There's no need to rush. Well, There's no need to rush.
Now behave, and follow me to the interrogation room.
Ow! That hurt.
the world holds dear is but a backdrop of constant motion. I stand before it, alone and unchanging.
Huh. I didn't like that. Clearly, there's some design flaws to iron out. Let's see... Huh? What you're saying, is that really... You make a good point. Okay, well... So, stick around here in standby mode? Yeah, that suits me. Oh, good idea. Bonnie's definitely hungry. May as well. We could be here a while. When I was trying to find somewhere I could space out earlier, alright.
Welcome to Ballet Mermoni.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Ballet Mermoni.
I hope the weather's nice like this tomorrow as well.
Welcome to Ballet Mermoni.
Now behave and follow.
Ow! That hurt.
It was that obvious. We investigated so quick. Is there still the Marechaussee fan? There's no need to rush. Well, we've... There's no need to rush. Bernard claims to have received a... If Bonnie had imitation synth in her body, then she was a liability that had to be recovered at all costs. But if she wasn't carrying anything, then it would have made sense to tell Bernard not to worry. And thinking about it, Bernard only attracted our attention in the first place because he came to look for Bonnie. Could it be that the person who wrote the letter also knew nothing about Bonnie's whereabouts? Or they had a separate goal entirely?
Now behave.
Ugh, that hurt.
Is there something else?
Huh?
I see.
Hey.
Because he has been kept in the dark. That never quite added up for me. Both of these things, he probably, unbeknownst to him, however.
What?
If you focus only on Bernard's testimony, it's easy to believe that only Bernard and Pierre were working together. The case appeared extremely simple.
What?
Yep. Once they had instructed Pierre to... Of course, Pierre, all the third person would have to do...
Wait.
Chevra said that they suggested, but if the disappearance is...
Huh?
Haven't you taken...
You deliberately getting the Marshal, and you couldn't predict what they might possibly... As someone accustomed to acting from behind the scenes, you didn't want to take the risk of personally proposing a raid on the Humane Society. Once the Phantom expanded their search, it would only be a matter of time before they found Pierre's base. If a cat last seen with the suspect turned up dead at the Imitation Synth base, it wouldn't be long until the Phantom would figure out exactly how she had been mistreated and turn their eyes towards the one organization that has been sending boatloads of animals out of Fontaine. It was probably during your ambush of Pierre. You didn't even have the time to check if she had already been stuffed full of Imitation Synth. Still, you soon found another opportunity. Before long, Bonnie had made her way back into the city, and even popped up on the Steambird. Like Bernard, you desperately wanted to confirm the contents of her stomach, so you hurried to find us. Unlike Bernard, however, you were hoping that Pierre did have the time to make her swallow a load of Imitation Synth. While investigating the suspect's cat, we unexpectedly discovered that the suspect has been smuggling Imitation Synth using living animals as intermediaries. That was your plan, in any case. With that, you'd have been able to lead the investigation towards the Humane Society. Bonnie had managed to escape before Pierre was able to stuff her full of Imitation Synth. That part of your plan could no longer be carried out. But as shrewd as you were, you came up with another plan right away. You manipulated the Traveler and I to help you identify Bernard as a key suspect. You used the Lefebvre name as bait to get us to join your investigation. With 2 extra bodies around, the Special Patrol is sure to soon take note. Of course, you did far more. You even highlighted, moreover,
And what are you...
I am insinuating that you had... And that's how neither the trafficker... Pierre having received the...
I can't believe...
So what do you think she's going to... You know very well that way, but you still want to do that. The location would ideally allow you to keep the body hidden for some time, while also letting you keep an eye on it. There are only so many, especially since...
How
Elodie left as the captain of the special security
That's right.
while at the harbor. And if one were to...
Yes, I'm sure...
Don't worry.
Although judging by...
The Lefebvres were...
Judging from the time...
Not only that, you brutally and...
So...
What was that word you used? Ally? You think that someone as foolish as him is worthy to call himself my ally? They were worthless scum. All of them. Not just Bernard and Pierre, but those Lefebvres too. They always just saw me as a tool. I lost all. I had to live in constant fear of them while they were alive. And even once they were gone, I had to continue to bury my heritage and my name. Always worrying that their enemies would come knocking at the door. Do you know anything about what I've been through over all these years? My life as the last Lefebvre?
I don't, and neither do I care.
Are you for real? Aren't you a Lefebvre victim too?
Elodie, you're the only one still living under the shadow of a name.
That's enough. Keep your hands where I can see them and do not resist arrest. If you have more to say, save it for the interrogation room.
What a joke. What a joke! Hey! Don't!
What's that?
Know what this is? Whether they're Surely! What are you? I finally found an opportunity to earn enough money to start a second life! And dump this name and all of its baggage onto Pierre. And you just had to go and ruin all of it!
Phew. So, this is it.
Guess that's probably why she said.
Well, given that
Thank you for your help.
if I still need to go back... Ah, so you do. Once I'm done talking... Black, want some? Mm-hmm. Not at all. Plus, if you just think about it, great answer. Had we not run into that case, you're right. Something about her. Elodie tried to... Not everyone who likes cats is a good... Humans tend to over... She took a liking...